So I think that for the young ladies in the room, if you've ever encountered an experience where you feel like your voice is not being heard, you're being ignored, you're being overpowered, it's important to address it in the moment. And if you can address it in the moment in a very assertive manner, not aggressive, but assertive, you can usually really educate the person that you're approaching, so that person may just not even be aware of how they're treating you or mistreatment. Maybe it's an awareness thing, or maybe they are aware. You kind of figure out what the next steps to take. So I've been in situations where I've had to address certain people and be really assertive and kind of be my own champion, so to speak. I have been in situations like that in college and with some of my college peers, in graduate school, in the workplace. It's happened really all throughout my life. But I've always felt the need to address it in the moment, because if you don't, then you start feeling uncomfortable, you start feeling insecure, you start feeling like maybe you don't belong. That's the worst thing that can happen, you feel like you don't belong. So I think if you just address it head on, maybe in a one-off conversation, then that will hopefully, eliminate the issue, and you can move past it.
As a chemical engineer, what is your job on a daily basis?
So I've worked in several different job settings. My very first job was in a manufacturing plant. So in a manufacturing plant environment, I was outdoors 90% of the time in the plant. I had to wear a hard hat. I wore steel-toe boots. I wore fire-resistant clothing from head to toe. I looked like a construction worker, essentially. I wore safety glasses, and I spent most of my time outside working on the actual plant, monitoring the chemicals that came in and making sure the product that came out was the quality that we needed, doing different tests, etc. So that work environment was very different from my second job, which was a computer-based job. So in that job, I was more in a corporate type of setting, working on a computer for most of the day, doing a lot of programming and mathematical modeling, but again, more of a desk computer-based job. My third job was in a lab, so a whole different environment, right? Now I'm working in a lab, I'm at a lab bench, I'm in a white coat, safety glasses, gloves, doing a lot of pipetting, reading a lot, designing experiments, testing different things, more lab-based work. So I feel like there's many different types of environments that a chemical engineer works in. It's not just one type of environment, and you can thrive in one and not like so much the others. I really enjoy working in a manufacturing plant. It can get hot and it can get sticky. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to get dirty or don't like to sweat very much, it may not be the best environment for you. For the young ladies, you break nails all the time. Your hair is always like matted to your face a little bit. So you get a little dirty in that sort of environment. The computer-based model, that environment was fine, but I like interacting more, I like moving about more. The lab-based environment probably suited me the best just because I'm able to work in teams, I'm able to move about, able to do different types of experimentation on a daily basis. So again, the environments can change depending upon how you use the degree and where you're working.
Have you ever felt you had to work harder than everybody else to be the only one in your group? Said, have anyone has this SE or anyone, have you ever felt you had to work harder because you were the only one in the room?
To be honest, that's a fact, because, and also, many times it was in my case, what I think is, for women, we have And within 4 days, I had to go for a site visit to the nature. So, you get used to it. So, all of them, life is nothing but balance. That's why women have two X's, X chromosomes. Men have X and Y. So, they are born balanced, so they need to do that in life. So that's what I'm saying. So, in my case, I enjoy doing it. To be honest, I have been a scientist. I love, just like people, who are addicted to dreams, addicted to driving, addicted to music. I am addicted to science. I love science. I have a computer in my kitchen. I love cooking. So I do that. I cook all kinds of food. In between, that's my stress. And I love being a woman. And especially, you get the Indian heritage, where I was born, you have rebirth. So, I think even in my rebirth, I want to be a woman. Because women have some things which men have passion.
Just to add that Dr. Rao is my wife. I have seen her. She works 10 times more than me. Believe me, I am afraid that I cannot compete with her at home and labs and all that. I only concentrate on the job, but women are great. In fact, they think that they are higher raised because they can handle both social things and that also jobs. So all women, you people are the top guys. You can do anything easy. Men have to work harder to reach your levels.
One thing I want to say that 2 years in a row, I got the grant from the 2-day walk for breast cancer. So, this is all because of your work and your passion for the survivors. So, that's what it is. So, I'm just hoping I keep getting the money so that I can keep my work going.
All right, next.
When you were going to MIT to achieve your degree, what are the skill sets that you learned?
The skill sets that I learned, gosh, so much. Do you mean like in my courses or just like as a college student? Or in my courses? So my first year at MIT, I took chemistry. I took organic chemistry. I took physics, mechanics. I took calculus, and I took computer programming in my first year. And the second year you're taking really more chemistry, more physics, more calculus, more programming, like all those kind of subjects. You're getting deeper though. So by my, I think second year I was taking classes like thermodynamics and fluid mechanics, separation processes. These are all chemical engineering type of classes. And so I think the most important thing I have to say about in terms of skills that I learned is really how to study, right? Have a strong work ethic, because a lot of people may start into a college program and not finish, or they may start and be forced to leave, or they may have to start and have challenges with keeping up. So I had to learn very quickly to ask for help, because trying to do it alone, sometimes you just need help, and it's okay. And I think that was probably my hardest lesson when I got to college, was knowing that it was okay to get help. It was okay to go and ask your professor or ask one of your peers or get a tutor or whatever you need to do. It was okay, because I didn't really have to do that very much in high school. In fact, in high school, everybody asked me for help. When I got to college, now all of a sudden, I need help. And so it was a little off balance for me in the beginning to feel like, I couldn't do something on my own. But I had to quickly learn that that was okay, and that it was okay to get the help that I needed. So, and in doing so, I think probably my toughest class was the second physics that I took, the electricity and magnetism class. It was tough because I had a professor that just didn't really teach the way that I learned best, so I had to really work hard in that class and get all kinds of help, read the textbook, go to office hours, really had needed a lot of help in that course to do well in it. So a lot of skills that you pick up in the courses that you take, but a lot of life skills you pick up as well. Just, learning the best way to study, the best way to achieve, success in your classes, doing internships, doing research experiences. That was also another important thing for me to do while I was in college. So I did a lot of undergraduate research and I did internships every summer, learning in those capacities as well.
Next.
I was gonna ask if you would have went into the career field that you went into without the influence. Like, did you still feel that way after you moved out of time?
Without your family's influence, anybody?
So, how many kids here are African? None? Why? Oh, okay. So, there's a general idea that African parents like to push their kids into, STEM fields. Well, really, the only career options growing up were doctor, lawyer, or engineer. There's nothing else. Nothing else exists.